Hi, beautiful people. Hope your day has been good. I've got to remember to look at the actual little doodacky on the side there rather than looking at the screen. That might take a while to get used to, so bear with me. I thought I'd record it a bit earlier because it was quite dark last night on the picture, so yeah. Right, so today I have made some notes. I am being reminded though of something that I saw today, which I wasn't gonna talk about, but it's just jumped into my mind. So hey, let's just go with that, eh? So when I was driving home tonight, I was behind a van, and it was a van for signage, and it had on the back of it, "Be seen." The words "be seen" and two eyes. Obviously, being signage, it's a way of them saying, have your business be seen. But it really got me thinking quite deeply about, I think often we would like to be seen, right? You, you hear people say, oh, I wish someone would see me, or even being heard is another thing as well. We would all like to be heard. And what I want to say, this does kind of lead into what I want to talk about today. But first of all, what I want to say about that is, if you can, take some time to go and stand in front of the mirror and just look at yourself and look in the eyes, okay? Because you know the saying, the eyes are the road to the soul, or the path to the soul, right? So look into your eyes for a decent period of time, yeah, and see what you see who you see. Who is it that you see? Okay, because what I was thinking about on the way home was that we often want to be seen by other people. However, I think what would be most fulfilling, because we can't make people see us in the way we would want them to see us, because what is it that we want people to see? Do we want them to see how we truly are? Like, what are we really asking when we ask for that? And it's the same, because everyone has their own perception, right? And it's not necessarily the way our perception would be, or they may not see us the way we would like them to see us. We want, I think, ultimately for people to see our heart, which is the truth of who we really are. And maybe there's a yearning for that because we are not really seeing the truth of who we are. Yeah? It's us who needs to see us. It's us who needs to give ourselves the love, the compassion, the time that we would so dearly love to be given from others. So take the time, if you can, to do that for yourself and meet yourself. Meet not just this shell of who you are, or this human, I should say, but the heart of who you are. What's in there? Who is in there? Introduce yourself to yourself. Yes? And so that perfectly leads me into, I had made some notes here, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm looking down to remind myself, because I was channeling a little bit earlier on. So I wanted to make note of it because I felt it needed to come through today as well. So thank you for that introduction. And so what I want to talk about is this pool of energy that we can tap into, this source energy. Okay, you know how when things are going super amazing, everything's wonderful, you couldn't be happier, everything's going perfectly, you're skipping along, and there's this sense of, well, put it this way, I know there's been times in my life where I have felt this bubble around me where it was as though life couldn't get any better and no one could come along and pop my bubble at all. And there was this flow, there's this flow of energy coming through at that time in those moments. And you know, that's because there's all these external things happening around us that are working out and everything's going perfectly. So what I feel is really important for us to get into a habit, a daily practice of doing, is to tap into that pool of energy regardless of how things are going, because it is there, okay? We don't necessarily need, you know, a zillion things to be going perfectly in, you know, our perception of perfect. In order for that to be the result within us, we can tap into that as a daily ritual type of thing, okay? And I suppose you could even liken that to people being in love, yeah? Like when they're in love and just they're almost floating along on cloud nine, and there could be nothing more perfect than the way they're feeling in that moment. And I can promise you that that feeling is reachable without there being any external circumstance to create that. That is within you, ready for you to tap into, okay? And it's something that you you know, it's this flow of energy that gets your creative juices going. When you, if you are following your passion or doing anything that you really love, be it painting, artwork, it could be some kind of performance, or I don't know, photography, it could be anything. It's so funny, there's a million of things it could be and I can hardly think of any, but I'm sure you know what I mean by this. This is where this is coming from, this passion that we tap into when we're in that mode of allowing our natural passion to come through, to experience that in the moment. It is coming from this source of energy, this life force, yes. And this, I feel like if we are able to access this every day, it's going to become easier to bring it through into our lives much more naturally, rather than maybe initially having to consciously try and create it. You'll be able to actually just kind of go tap 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 tap, I want to go tap tap on the heart, because that's ultimately where it is, okay? It's coming out of your head and into your heart, all right? We as a species have allowed our mind to rule us, okay? And I don't know if you've had those times where you have, say there's it could be a friendship, some kind of relationship, it could be a job, a home, an area that you're living in, or somewhere that you go, where in your heart of hearts you know that it's done, or it's not the best thing for you, but your mind says, but this is a great area to live. Look at how beautiful it is. Really good people live here, and or this person is a really lovely person. Why would you not want to be friends with them, or be in relationship with them, or have them in your life? Or this job is on paper the best job you will ever get. What are you doing? This is your mind saying this to you, yes, but your heart is saying something else, and you know that for whatever reason it's not the best thing for you. And often it can be difficult to follow the heart, because we are so used to allowing our mind to take the lead. Yet we will find down the track at some point that in fact our heart was correct. We should have taken another path. Well, I shouldn't say should have. We could have taken another path. There's always lessons to learn along the way, no matter what path we choose to take. But I think if we come into this space a lot more and allow ourselves to come from this place, we will begin living a more peaceful existence, because we are allowing our heart space to speak. And this is the truth of who we are. This is the source. This is this pool of eternal energy that is there for us. Okay. Yes, so if you can find that place within you, and a way to do that could be, everyone has their own way of doing that. To be honest with you, there's lots of teachers out there who teach about this, and one teacher works for one person, the next teacher works for the other. Okay, so there's lots of different ways for this to work for you. And I want to say that it's really allowing yourself to sit in this heart space and recall those times where you were potentially in love, or everything felt amazing and life couldn't get any better. Recall those times and allow that to come through, so that you can focus on the feeling within, okay, and come down from your head and into this heart space. And by doing that, you're aligning both this your mind and your heart. You're actually bringing them together, okay, and that space is home. That's home, okay. And this is why it's so joyous and so appealing to us, because it doesn't get any better than that, yeah. And I do want to say with that also is this circle of people that we keep around us. Find people who help this to pulsate, okay, to help you be in your truth, who are in their truth, okay, not just living an existence that externally it's something maybe that society expects of them, okay, because ultimately what you deserve is to live in a world that is made up of this authentic pureness, because that's who you are, okay. So if you can take the time to do this for yourself, you'll start to notice a change, a peacefulness come about you, and yeah, it's definitely worthwhile, and you're also worth it as well. Okay, so meet yourself in the mirror, go into your heart space, and remember who you are. Okay, I will leave that with you. You have a beautiful evening or day, or wherever you are, have a great afternoon or whatever you're having. Okay, and I will see you soon. Bye.